What is your favourite word?
Skulduggery. Yeah.
What is your least favourite word?
No. Yeah, it just cuts off a lot of options.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Fun. Yeah. It's embracing whatever it is you're doing and just enjoying it to the best of your ability. Yeah.
And what turns you off creatively, spiritually, and emotionally?
Censorship in all of its forms, whether it's obvious censorship or just the closed-minded viewpoints of some people. When you come across it, you realize that these people are not embracing, the things that they should be. Yeah.
And what sound or noise do you love?
My dog barking. And yeah, my dog barking and panting and yeah, my dog.
And what sound or noise do you hate?
What sound do I hate? School bells. School bells. I've never liked them. Yeah.
Okay, so here's some questions on kind of how you started, really. Did you always want to be a writer?
Yes. When I was a kid, when I was, 7, 8, 9, I was writing. I loved writing the English essays, the short stories in school. When I was a teenager, I was writing longer stories, mostly horror. I wanted to be a comics writer and artist, and in my 20s I finally took it seriously, and I finally decided to be a writer, to focus on it, so it's there have been deviations of ambitions or whatever else along the way, but it's always writing. Always been there.
Fantastic. And what was the first piece of work you got published?
Published? I came second in a short story writing competition when I was about 16. That was published in a paper. To be perfectly, and when I was in 2003, I had my first film out. I actually, apart from the 2 Skulduggery books, I don't have many things published. I tend to keep working at something until I'm happy with it, and then send it out. So yeah, there's not much of my stuff around.
And how did you get your big break?
I got my agent because of the films, the 2 small Irish films that I did, and when I wrote the first draft of Skulduggery, she took it and she brought it to I think 9 or 10 publishers, and within a few weeks, HarperCollins were the first ones to respond, and they were interested, and it snowballed. I had no idea what would happen, and when I heard that Harper were interested, I thought, okay, it's just going to be another one of those small little books that no one really pays attention to. So I had no idea it would be that Harper would put so much energy behind the promotion of the book. So it was that.
And did you get any rejection letters or?
No, I got no rejection letters. I'm one of the lucky ones.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
no rejection letters.
You hear about writers, and it builds up huge folders of rejection letters and slips, and they put them on the wall, and they stare at them to spur them on to bigger and better things. For me though, it was very, very easy, and I happened to write the right thing at the right time, and sometimes it works out that way, and the market was ready for Skulduggery, but it could just as easily have not happened, and I, got like 100 rejection letters before anyone took interest. So it's a gamble.
And what did you write on your kind of submission letter? Was there kind of anything that you thought would really grab their attention, or?
I didn't send a letter with it. My agent did, but in order to get my agent, I sent off a letter. This was back in 2002 or 3, and I sent a letter off and a copy of one of my scripts, and I was just very polite. The letter was very well drafted, and I was just polite. I wasn't egotistical, and she read it, and because of my agent, every writer needs an agent. So because of my agent, she got me where I am now. So that's essential.
Did you do any jobs to kind of fund yourself while you were writing?
I spent 6 years on the family farm, and after I was ejected from college, and on the farm.
Ejected from college.
Ejected. I was asked not to come back because I didn't do any work basically. They expected me to work. So I spent 6 years on the family farm, and in that time I realised that writing, I had to take it seriously. So I've forgotten the question.
Any other jobs?
That was my job. And the job I swore I would
You
never
tried to
do.
wipe it out of your memory.
Yeah, no, I was doing my best. And I swore I would never work on the farm. When I was a kid, I swore I would never work on the farm. And yet I spent 6 years on it. But during that time I trained myself to write. So for 6 years I was writing scripts, and I got my first film made and out in like 2002, 2003. Then I got a second film, but still I was working part-time on the farm. So farm work, it was handy because I would be doing the physical work while my mind was able to think of the stories and whatever else. So it was ideal, if not very pleasant.
Fantastic. And one last question. What else did you consider doing with your life? What would you have done, do you think, if you didn't write?
If I didn't get that break, if I didn't get the break into writing, I would still be a writer, but I would have been forced to try and take some control of my life in other areas. But I don't know, I'm one of those people. At the time, it seems really lazy and it seems really ridiculous because I was not entertaining any other ideas about what to do, about an alternate career, because I had the complete faith that I would actually make it. And sometimes that kind of faith is foolish because you can go your whole life knowing you are good enough to be published, but never get published, and you look back on your life and it's a wasted life. So that could have happened to me, but thankfully it didn't. It could still happen, but it's I was one of the lucky ones.
Derek Landy, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.